So, good afternoon, everyone. Hope all is well. Apologies for the delay. There was some technical issue, but we are now going to go live with a gentleman who is within the hospitality business, and he's going to let us know all about the hospitality world and the likes of the celebrities that he has worked with, hosted, and we are going to be talking all about that. And if you're celebrating Eid Mubarak. Hello.
Finally, we made it.
Finally, we made it. How are you?
Very good. Thanks yourself.
Good. All is well. Firstly, thank you for taking out the time. And I'm sorry, I thought it was my live and you were supposed to come on my live. And yeah, sorry about the confusion.
Don't worry. We
But
handled it.
thank you so much for joining me today to share the knowledge, to spread the positivity amongst all the human race in the world, I guess. And sorry, I'm in my bedroom right now
Don't worry. We take it easy.
because I was going to get late to get to the office and I knew that I had to be here with you at 12 o'clock. So, Momo, thank you so much for joining me today. It's a pleasure to have you on to be a part of an amazing cause with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Momo, before we go ahead with the conversation, if you can introduce yourself as to who you are and what you do.
Okay. I mean, this is a little bit, it's not something that I can say in 2 words. First of all, I'm an entrepreneur. I do a lot of business. I have different activities that I have in the entertainment part, in the fashion part, real estate part, the private equity part.
Wow.
Events, management,
Like
bookings,
a proper entrepreneur, right?
some champagne, some wines. I go for opportunities in life, and what comes up, I try to realize. If I think it's interesting, and it's first of all, it has to give me joy and fun. If
Of
I don't have
course.
passion for it,
Of
I
course.
don't go for it.
Of course.
Yeah. So yes, I'm based in Switzerland. I live in Miami, in Italy over the summer.
Where are you? Where are you right now?
Right
and
now,
enjoying the sun.
I'm in Portofino right now. That's in Italy.
Wow, amazing! I can see the sunshine behind you. I mean, the sun is shining in London as well.
Yes,
But
you're lucky, guys.
So Momo, it's good to know like you've got so much going on with you. It's absolutely amazing, inspiring, aspirational, for people who are looking to become an entrepreneur or people like myself who are an entrepreneur and want to do more in life. Like, I'm into real estate, but I'm also into investing in shares. I'm also into investing in Bitcoins. I'm also into investing in property myself. So this is why I do this, to share that knowledge, to learn from other people, to learn from people like yourself who've achieved success in their life. And that's why we're doing this. So, Momo, before we move forward, I ask this to all my guests that come on here, right? And when we are growing up as kids, when we're going to school, college, university, we aspire to be, we see a lot of careers in front of us. Like we see a doctor or lawyer, an architect, an engineer. Our parents are becoming our doctor or lawyer, and that sort of builds our aspiration to do something like them, or to be something like them, be something like an uncle that is doing amazing. What was your aspiration when you were growing up? What did you want to become? Or was it always from the start that I want to get into business? This is what I want to do. What was
Okay,
it
no,
that you wanted
first
to
of
do?
all, I have to say I always followed my passion. My passion was always music and dancing
Okay.
since I was a kid, starting with Michael
Okay.
Jackson since I was 8,
Wow.
So then it became actually very natural. We started to make a dance group. Then we started to sing. Then we had our first record deal. Then
Wow.
being
And this
young,
was at the age of
15, I had my first record deal with Sony.
you.
And then
Wow.
when I learned how the business works, that I have to sing what they want me to sing, I cannot choose the songs that I want to sing. I can I got very fast disappointed about the business side of my passion, and
Okay.
I actually decided to not continue singing because of that. Um, and then, of course, I have to say I was still in
And at that
school.
point, you were singing, you were just singing in Italian, or you were singing in
No, I
other
was singing in
languages as well?
English. I could not speak
Okay,
English at that time, but we were singing it in English. Like,
that's amazing.
yeah,
That's
yes,
amazing.
actually.
And
And
these were your own songs that you were writing and you were singing them.
the ones that we presented to get the record deal was our own songs. But then the
And that was in
first
English.
that was in English and German both. We had like a couple English songs a cappella that we were singing in English, and the rest was
Okay.
actually some German rap songs
Wow.
in that
Wow.
time. Yes. And then the first
So,
single that we promote was
yeah.
actually in English. Yeah.
And then from there onwards, like you were into singing, and you sort of felt that the other company is not working according to how you thought it would work for you. How did that
Exactly.
feel? how did
I,
how did that feel? I mean, you mentioned that your passion went down, but in effect, did that bring you down? Did that bring your morals down, your positivity towards that? How did you go about sort of bringing yourself back up again?
yes, I mean I have to be honest. I think when you're young and I mean I was 14, 15 in that time. No, actually I was 14 in that time. When this happened was like fuck it, we were in the streets, we were like hanging out with our fellas and just like talking that we're just not gonna do it. We were proud about it
Yep.
actually, that
Yep.
we were
Yep.
not submissive to this industry at that time. But then we still keep on dancing and singing and do some little shows around the areas. And I have to be honest, like it was not, I never study, I never really finished school for certain reasons, I mean, it was a
Did you
bad
did you
environment.
ever did you ever think did you ever think that it would have been great if you went to school, college, or university? Or no, you were determined in what you were doing?
No, I have to tell you honestly, not because I don't believe in a system. I don't believe, um, I don't come from a rich family. So if I make a calculation when I was very young. The calculation is something that everybody can calculate. It's very easy.
Of course. Of
So
course.
if I go to school till 21, I, I go to the university till I'm 30. I'm never going to make money till I'm 30 years old. I don't know if I'm going
Listen
to
to
be.
the man. He's talking truth out here.
I'm telling you,
University,
it's.
school will take your lives away, and you will not be able to. I mean, I went to university, and I was just talking to my colleagues yesterday. If I had those 4 years back again in my life, I would never have gone to university ever.
Yes, and I can also tell you, I can give you a few examples why. First of all, this whole system is made by rich families and rich people, and rich generations before we
Of
even
course.
were born.
Of
So
course.
somebody goes that can afford university, that goes to university. I speak in general. They already come from rich families because how do you want to go 6, 8 years study something with no money? You have to live with three people in one room.
Of
You
course.
have to go serve the bars. They do some shitty jobs. The ones that are not born rich, the other ones that don't have money issue, they go with the
Did you did you
Lamborghini
did
to
you
the
have to did
university.
you have to go out and do all those kind of jobs, or you sort of left that on the side?
No, because I make my calculation very fast when I was very young. And how do you say in English when you learn a job, when you make the apprentissage, when you have to practice 3 years
Experience.
before you get a job?
Experience. Yep, yep, yep.
Is this experience? It goes
Experience.
3 years.
Experience. Exactly.
Okay, so
Oh
I make your
no, the
calculation.
undergraduate course. You mean at university?
No, I mean before university. Like you want to become a barber, you have to go 3 years, work for somebody for $500 a
Training,
month.
training, experience. Yep, that's what I would call it.
Intern. Intern, it's
Yeah,
called.
internship. Okay, got
So,
you.
okay,
Okay,
so
yeah, yeah,
internship,
yeah, yeah.
this is a calculation, so I don't go too deep into this, but very easy. You go 3 years to intern, you get paid $500-$600 the first year, you're gonna get paid $700 the second year, then you're gonna get paid $900 the third year, okay? So it means the first year you're making $6,000. The second year you're making, let's say that's what you're making $8,500. The third year you're making $9,600. So you're making in 3 years, you're making like $35,000 learning this job, okay?
Yep.
So
Yep.
me, I don't do intern now, and I just go to work to a company where I can learn this job, and I will never be qualified for that job, you know, on diploma, but I will never make the 5,000-6,000, but I'm going to make the 4,000, because the difference between an intern and one that is not intern is about $1,500 a month after you
Of
finish
course.
it. Correct?
Of course.
But
Of
me,
course.
I was making the last 3 years 4,000 every month. So I was making 120,000 the first 3 years. You were making only
Wow.
35,000. So now
Wow.
you, after 3 years, you are making 5,000. Let's say you're making 6,000. I'm making 5,000. You make 6,000 because you have the diploma for that job.
Of course. Of
So
course.
now we have a difference of $80,000. I made
Wow.
4,000. Now you start to make 5,000. Okay. So now you're making
Wow.
1,000 more. So now it
Yep.
takes you another 7 years to recover the 80,000 that I made the last 3 years. So
And those 7 years I'm at university.
So
Yep.
after 10 years, okay, after 10 years, and me, let's pretend that I have a good relationship with my boss. He knows I'm never sick. He knows he can count on me. He knows I have the experience. I have the talent for
Yep.
this.
Yep.
After 3,
Yep.
4 years, he's also going to give me 1,000 more. Correct? If I work 3 years in a company and I do a
Exactly,
good job.
for as a bonus or as an appreciation to your work.
Yes, if you have a good boss, of course you have bosses that are idiots and they don't know how to treat their employees. But if you have a good boss, yes, if you have a boss that don't
Of
want to
course.
spoil you, that appreciate you, and he
Of
knows I'm
course.
going to give this young guy more money, he's never sick, I can always count on him, then he's
Yep.
going to treat you better in the regular
Absolutely.
case. So it's going
Absolutely.
to take you 10 years to make the money that I made in 3 years.
In 3 years. That's
So,
absolutely
and
amazing. Listen to
from
people
20
need to listen to you.
till 30, you don't even have money to invite a girl for dinner. You don't have money to take care of your parents. Your parents have still to take care of you.
Yep.
You
Yep.
need $100. You have to call your mama to get $100. Like all the system is done for rich people. It's not done for
Exactly.
poor people. And they let
You're
you
right.
eat shit till you're 30, and somebody's making money out of you. You know, during this time. So
Momo, have you ever thought about speaking to an audience? Do you do
yeah,
that?
honestly, yes, but I'm very how you say, introvert. Somehow,
You
you
should
know,
do it.
I look that I'm very you know, like I'm an
I
open-minded
can
guy,
see,
you know, and
I
all
can
that.
see, I can see the fire in you. You should seriously do that. I mean, you should make it a part of your business tree about speaking. And if you
Yes,
want to, and if you want someone to sort of what do you call it? To you know, like your intro part on your speaking program, I can be
yeah,
the intro part. So I
yeah,
can
with
introduce
pleasure.
you.
I think
Sorry,
I have another.
I'm just an entrepreneur. You know, I when I see opportunity, I'm like, yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah.
So Momo, you mentioned like you're into real estate, you're into music, you're into hospitality, you're into investing. How did you get into so many streams of incomes at such a young age?
Wow, this is something that life you have
And
to see.
I've read your biography. You've worked with the likes of Enrique Iglesias, Rihanna. I saw a few other celebrities that you've worked with in the hospitality business, in the event business, in the music industry. How doing all of that, and how did you achieve so much at such a young age? If you can tell the audience and
You
myself.
know, something I can tell you is that I work every day in my life. Like I work on Christmas, I work on New Year's, I work on Sunday, I work. I
Yep.
made my first vacation.
I can resemble to you today because it's Eid today and I'm working. I'm going to the office right now.
Yes, man. So what I can tell you, to make it short, because a lot of things brings to one things bring you to another thing, is that I'm very focused. I'm somehow really workaholic. Like I'm blessed to be in wonderful places where I'm working and it looks like vacation. But I can tell you, I made my first vacation in my life last year, 4 days. That Momo said I go to vacation four
Leave the
days.
phone, leave everything, leave the emails.
No, never leave the phone. Never leave the phone.
Okay.
Now I started because I have problems with my eyes because I'm always on the phone since 20
Okay.
years. But
Okay.
it was the first time I could say I go to vacation for 4 days. And
Wow.
I can
And
just
where did you
say,
go?
be honest, work hard. You need to take a lot of shit. People need to count on you. Keep your word. Credibility is about everything. Doesn't matter what other people say. People will
Of
always
course.
say bad things about you. They will always speak some. You can be the most honest person, and people like, I can tell you, my first nice car, I had people were saying I'm a drug dealer. Then everybody knows a good drug dealer. The last thing what he
Ste-
does is
you
driving
can never
expensive cars.
you can never take out stereotypical people from this world. They will always talk about you. They will always
Yes.
hate your success. But
Then
you know in yourself that you're doing good, and you're doing it
yes, of
better for
course, of
you,
course, of
for your
course.
family, for your loved ones, whoever it is, for your fans as well. And I'm sure you've got a lot of fans because you've got a lot of following base on Instagram as well. And being in the music industry, I'm sure it works out really well for you. So talk me through some of the experiences you've had with world class celebrities, like for example Enrique. How was it
For
meeting him,
example,
and
like I
what
have
did
to
you do
say,
for him?
like Enrique is really one of my.
Yep, all is good.
Can,
Yep,
okay,
yep.
so Enrique is definitely one of my favorite artists I work with. Super professional, very humble guy, super nice, great artist, great personality values. You don't hear no scandals about his private life. He is a family father. He is with his wife since 10 years or over 10 years, maybe 20 years
Yep,
already.
yep, yep.
And I hear how he's asking about me. He never forget how we worked together, what we did, and this is something very nice because artists on that level, many artists, they are just used to take what they want, and the next day they're in another city with another
Of
promoter, with
course,
another guy, and
of
he is
course.
really somebody that I really love, and we really appreciate each other. And the way that we got to know each other was like, I think it was 10, 12 years ago. Yes, he came to my club. I had a club in Switzerland, in Zurich, called Flamingo. And the
Wow.
only party that he went, he was in European tour. He just did two parties. One was in Movida London that my partner organized, and the other one was in Flamingo Zurich.
And you,
So when I met
do you
him,
still do you still do you still own this club in Zurich in
no,
Switzerland, or you've given it up?
I sold it 3 years ago, because also something very important, I think, in business is that, or also in private life, is to let things go when it's the right
Of
moment to
course,
let it go.
of
When you
course,
think
of course.
when it's good, you have to let it go, not when it
I mean,
doesn't
when
work.
when 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 you're making a serious damn profit on it, let it go.
But it's the most painful part to let it go, because you say, one more weekend I'm going to make more money, just one more weekend. But this is when you have to sell, because if you sell when it
Exactly.
doesn't work, you can never sell the price. And
You
this
can
is the
never
mistake.
profit.
They're too greedy, and when I have more, 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 but by the end of the calculation, they're going to lose more. They're
Absolutely.
not going to get much.
Momo, when are you coming to London?
I have to tell you honestly, probably right now, not really, because listen, when I travel, to 99%, I always go when I have a business reason to go. When I have a meeting, when I have an event, when I have a proper possible deal. But I was a lot in London in my life. Like I worked a lot, like 20, 15 years ago. I did a
Wow.
lot of events in London that were really popping off. Like we killed London, actually. It was amazing. I love the nightlife and the restaurants in London. But at the
Yeah,
moment, over the
absolutely.
summer, is not really a reason in my business to be in London, because all the events and everything is moving outside of London. So London
Exactly.
is really a winter time to move. I love Christmas in London. Like it's
And
the
one
sharpest
question I
release, you
also
know.
wanted to ask you is during this COVID and lockdown, because you're in the events management, you're in the hospitality business, in the music industry, how has it been for the event and hospitality business during this time of lockdown? And what are the measures you're taking to move forward, uh, to start accommodating these events within the cities that you work in?
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, first of all, I'm very sorry because I have many friends of mine that owns restaurant clubs, and they have to close their clubs. They, you know, the real estate owners, they want the same rent. They don't want to make no compromise with the most of the clubs,
Of
and
course,
so yesterday I just spoke to a very good friend of mine since many years, and he said, "Listen, I pay rent in 6 months. Now I can open my club, but I can have only 100 people in the club. My fixed costs are too high. He's gonna close it, you know." And I feel very sorry for many of them because they put their life. It's a lot of work, you know, and
of
losing every
course.
month that kind of money, it's painful, you know.
It's
Even if you
absolutely,
made money, but
absolutely.
this cost, and there's no hope. You don't know when they're going to open again. So it's a never ending story for the moment, you know. So
Indeed.
but it's not just the clubs, it's the DJs, it's
It's
the
everyone.
fashion
I mean,
industry. It's
I saw how the Italians are going out in the neighborhood and starting their parties from their apartment balconies. You know, the trend started from Italy and went round the
yes,
world,
yes,
like
yes, yes.
everywhere, like Spain, London,
Uh-huh.
the US, and it was like, wow.
Paris as well.
I mean, how people are coming together even in lockdown. You know,
Yes, I mean,
you can never stop people from partying, I guess.
yeah, but
Partying is
listen,
necessity.
I have to tell you, I can tell you this in two sentences, and we have to.
Yep,
People are different. We young, we in nightlife. We always talk about partying, having fun, and just thinking about the fun part of life. But for me,
yep.
the most important thing in life is family. And I spent 3 months with my mother at home that I didn't remember when I did this the last time in my life, waking up with
How
my
was it?
mother and having coffee with her. And this is the
How was
best
it?
thing that happened, because I'm telling you, if God bless her, but if tomorrow she should not be on this earth anymore, I'm not going to remember the party I did in Miami on South Beach. I'm going to remember the 3 months I was with my mother at home, and we had
Absolutely,
really time to
absolutely,
exchange, you know. So
absolutely.
I
You
think we
always
all,
have to have a balance in life of socializing and personalizing. You know,
yes, and
you've got to have
honestly, we consuming. We want to make just party. We want everything's more. We go buy clothes, but we
exactly.
have clothes. We buy shoes, but we have
Yep,
already 30 pairs of shoes. And
yep,
we
yep.
are in this consume world. But I have to tell you, I swear to God, I have right now, and since this convict, I had the best time of my life in my private life, and this is the most important. And
Absolutely.
these other problems, what do you prefer to have? $50,000 debts or your mother still alive? I guess everyone wants his mother still alive. So
Absolutely.
I see the
Absolutely.
positive things, and it was impossible in our days to spend 3 months with our loved ones. How do you wanna?
Exactly.
I wish I would
Exactly.
have kids at that time so I could really spend
I
my
think
time with my kids. You know?
the only best thing that came out of this COVID and lockdown was that families started spending time with each other, which they got
Yes.
used to, and that has now become like a norm in life. Like you want to be with your family, you want to be at home, you want to go out with them. I mean, you can't go out much, but whatever you can do, you can.
No, but
You
listen,
know, so
I had walks with my mother, and I tell you, you know, the last thing when you're younger, it's the most boring thing is to be with parents, with mama and daddy. You want to be with your friends in the streets, but when
of
you grow,
course, of
you see
course,
that your friends are not your friends. You're gonna understand
absolutely,
that whatever happens, your
absolutely.
mama and daddy always gonna be here for you. And
Absolutely.
when you grow,
Blood is always thicker than water, right?
yes, exactly. So by the end, I think it was very good for the human being and also for the nature. This recovery give the planet to breathe and give the earth the earth air, fresh
Some
air. I
space to
think it
breathe,
was
I guess.
very necessary. Yeah. So I always try
Absolutely.
to see the positive things, you know, out of this negativity, if we can call it negativity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But Momo, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I mean, normally I do this with all my guests that at the end I ask them for positive advice, which I'm going to ask you. But I just want to say that there has been so much positivity from what you've spoken about, so much inspiration from what you've spoken about, and how you've come across, and what your thoughts have been from a young age to where you are today in owning successful businesses, streamlining those businesses to generate multiple sources of income for yourself and your family. You're an absolute inspiration, Momo. But before you go, I want to
Thank you.
ask you this. If you can share one last positive advice with me and the world today, so that we can take that on board and move forward in life, because we've seen a lot of negativity, like you mentioned as well, with your friends, how they were in the hospitality business and everything. What positive advice would you like to share with the world so that they can take it on board and move forward in life?
I would say something that is very difficult and hard for some people, or it's not always easy, is honesty. I say
Absolutely.
be honest. Like, you can steal something, nobody see it, but God see it. You know what I mean? You can
100%.
do. So just be honest, and just don't have bad intentions. You know, you can be friend with somebody just because you want something from him, but you can. This is never good. Like, I will just say honesty. Honesty. Be honest and try to help everyone you can help. You're gonna get hurt because
Absolutely.
you're the good one, but this is part of being good, you know. And yes, this is the
Absolutely.
only thing what I can really say is try to be honest, like, as much as you can, you know.
But thank you so much, Momo. It's been a
It was my
pleasure
pleasure,
talking to
man.
you. And one last thing, if you're in London or you want to invest into real estate in London, hit me up.
Uh,
I'll do my best
I think
to
right
accommodate
now
your requirements.
I really appreciate it. Right now, regarding real estate, I think that in the next 12 months, we're going to have the biggest crash on earth with real estate, because the people not going to pay their rents anymore. So when they don't get incomes for the rents, the real estate is going to crash down. So I think
Of
right
course.
now, the next 12 months is just to wait. Like, I feel a little bit sorry
Just hold
because
up.
we are just waiting that it crashes down. But I think it's gonna come, and then it's gonna be shopping time for the ones that have some money on the side, you know.
And at that point, I'll be waiting for you.
All right, and I will definitely hit you back. Okay.
Thank you, Momo. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Have a lovely
It's been a
day.
pleasure. You
Thanks, my
too.
pleasure. Thanks for having me. Bye
Take
bye.
care. Bye-bye. Bye. Wow. That was Momo, who is a serial entrepreneur who's gone out and achieved so much success in his life in terms of, like I was mentioning earlier, streamlining so many businesses towards um, generating different streams of income, passive income, to make that serial entrepreneur out of himself. So, guys, if you want to become a serial entrepreneur, do follow him, do hit him up, and do take advice from people like Momo, who are out there and who talk the real stuff. Like he mentioned, universities, schools, colleges will never teach you experience. All they will do is just teach you education, but then education could also come with experience that you go out and do. Absolutely amazing what he was talking about. And thank you to all the viewers that tuned in. It's been a pleasure to have you on. And I shall see you again tomorrow on my next live session, which I have with a health and fitness instructor or nutritionist. That's it. So do join me again tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.